That is where the elephant is. The documentation of economy. And in today's, age, it's not difficult. When Pakistan can run one of the best, and I've got my vaccinations in US and other parts of the world, when it can run one of the best vaccination campaigns using NADRA data, and even today, the data is there. Why can't we start document? We have not even started. Now, why is that private sector, even the genuine private investors, I don't blame my colleagues in the business who want to make money and genuinely invest in the real estate because the returns are very high. So is there so much of demand that the returns are high? 90% of the population in Pakistan can't even dream of a house. So where is the demand coming from? It is the undocumented part of the wealth which is going into the real estate and making it more and more profitable. So unless you bring that wealth out, start bringing that wealth into the mainstream, I don't think any policy reforms are going to help. And as the discussion goes on, I'll come back again and again to this point. And the other thing which I think the previous panel were discussing, and I was trying to put that question to Dr. Ishrat, but then we had to walk out for our discussion, was that we do have a problem with the Constitution or with the NFC award, but that is there to stay. And we recognize that the federal government has an issue of revenue collection which should be addressed, and the provinces don't do anything. We all know that. Why is it that federal government insists, and again, I'm not supporting the subsidies and other things, why does the federal government insist on giving the subsidies themselves? Why is BISP being funded by federal government? Why can't the provinces fund BISP? And if there are any lifeline consumer subsidies in energy sector, why is the federal government supposed to do it? Why doesn't the provinces do it? Like Dr. Saab was saying, if there are some incentives to be given for foreign investment or for industrialization, it should be the provinces. So that would save about 1.5 to 2 trillion rupees of money of the federal fund, which can be used more. So these are the two, I would say, reforms which I would think would help. But I will address the other, I think, very interesting points in the later part of the discussion about export, about what Khurram said, rent seeking. I think have very valid questions and very valid points, and we'll address them as the discussion goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me disagree a little bit with my colleagues and make the discussion more interesting. So if you all agree on things, then it will be very boring. We talk about the global competitiveness of our industry and why we have not been able to reach there. And some of the things, yes, I agree that the policy helped going investment in one direction or the other, or the real estate or some rent-seeking areas. But at the same time, you should see that when did our competitors, say China, India, or Vietnam, open up their markets? They did not open up their markets at a very nascent or early stage they opened up when they were already industrially they've developed a big base industrially, and that base was developed during their protection times. Pakistan never saw that protection throughout its life, and we always had this idea of a liberal trade system. When we started doing it in, say, 1990s, liberalizing our tariff system, we reduced our average tariff from 18% to 8% during the period of 2002 and 2007. And what happened in that period was that we started getting a lot of trade deficits. And that was a time when we started entering into the area of large trade deficits and kept on increasing. So the industrialists or the investors in that area would say that we have entered into an area of premature deindustrialization by liberalizing our trade too early than the industrial base would warrant. So this is one side. I don't say that, but we should also keep that in mind, whether with this kind of the industrial base that we have, we have that base enough, strong enough to compete globally? Or we still need some areas? And I don't say that